Yeah, I'm guessing that, okay, we pushed him.
Good morning. Welcome to the second half of 2025 and our July 1st commission meeting. I'm going to call our meeting to order and note for the record that we do have a full quorum of commissioners present. Just a reminder, silent your cell phones and please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, also, if anybody's going to public comment today, please sign in on the back. We need that required by state statute for public record. All right, routine business. Consider a motion to approve our agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any public comment on this, on our agenda? All those in favor of the agenda say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consent agenda. If there's anyone from the public that would like to comment on any item on the consent agenda, now is your opportunity. Commission, anybody want to pull or comment on any item on the consent agenda? Look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Benega, second by Izey. Please call the roll.
Benega.
Aye.
Izey.
Aye.
Weinberg.
Aye.
Kipley.
Aye.
Karski.
Aye, motion carries. First regular business item is a public hearing to consider special event malt beverage retailer's license, special on sale wine retailer's license, and special on sale liquor license for Greenewalt Family Foundation Rock in the Country event on July 18th to 19th, 2025. Good morning, Kim.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kim Christensen at the Auditor's Office. We have received an application for the licenses stated from the Greenewalt Family Foundation for Rock the Country event, which will be held at the W.H. Lyon Fairgrounds on July 18th and 19th. The license would allow the organization to sell wine, malt beverage, liquor, to be consumed on site. The application has been reviewed by the Sheriff's Department, State's Attorney's Office, and Planning Department. There are no questions or concerns reported. The fee is $50 per license per day, plus a publishing fee.
All right, this is a public hearing, so if anybody here is to speak as a proponent for the license, now is your opportunity to address the commission. Any opponents to issuing this license? All right. Commission, turn it over to you for action.
Make a motion to approve the license.
Second. Motion and a second. Please call the roll.
Izey.
Aye.
Benega.
Aye.
Weinberg.
Aye.
Kipley.
Aye.
Karski.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving on to authorize the chair to sign a contract with Lutheran Social Services to provide evening support services for JDC. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning, all. Jamie Gravitt, Juvenile Detention Center. Before you today is the contract for our yearly renewal for the Evening Report Center. The Evening Report Center is an alternative that we use to keep people out of JDC. It picks kids up at school or at their home in the summer. They go to LSS, they have a meal, do life skills training, homework help during school year, some community service projects and other projects in the community as well. So it's been one of our most liked alternatives by youth. It continues to do well, and I would hope that you would approve this for the next year.
All right. Public comment on this agenda item. I have a quick question, Jamie. So they go there and they still spend the night in JDC then?
No. These are kids that are out in the community awaiting court.
Okay.
But they just need a little more support
More
during
attention.
those most risky times of the evening.
Okay.
It might be that home's an issue and it gets them out of there for a little while. It might be that they have parents that are working very hard to just make ends meet and they're not there to supervise them, so it just gives them a little more supervision during the most troublesome times where they could find trouble. So,
Are they allowed so many attendants? I mean, taken for these? What if they're just not showing up?
Then they'll face consequences through the court because it's usually a condition of their bond.
Okay, okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? Look for a motion.
I'd make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second, call the roll.
Benega.
Aye.
Blyenberg.
Aye.
Heisey.
Aye.
Hipley.
Aye.
Karski.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Consider a resolution to declare certain mobile home distress warrants for unpaid property taxes as uncollectible. Good morning, our treasurer.
Good morning, Chris Swanson, Minnehaha County Treasurer. So South Dakota Codified Law 102230 provides for the presentation to the county commissioners by the county treasurer all distress warrants returned by the sheriff as uncollectible. So submitted for your review are the uncollectible distress warrants returned by the sheriff's office in 2025. After these are examined by you and satisfied, and any reports are satisfied, then the Board of Commissioners shall declare them to be uncollectible. And then these taxes then will be added to an uncollectible list in a book provided for that purpose, and no distress warrant shall therefore be issued, therefore, except on order of the board or on written demand by the sheriff. So you'll notice the list of uncollectibles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Public comment on this agenda item. Commission, turn it over to you.
Mr. Chair, good morning, Chris. This is a question you may not know, but there might be someone in the room that does. What are the usual circumstances that lead to these interesting cases? And I say interesting because it appears these individuals who owe these meager sums of property taxes have all but disappeared, or the lot itself is entirely vacant. I don't know if you could give some clarity about the circumstances.
I really guess I can't tell you what the circumstances are. I just know that this list is shorter than last year's, but it's just with the mobile homes, we noticed just a lot of moving in and moving out. A lot of trailers get taken off the properties without our knowledge, and then, yeah.
Jettisoned to another state.
We just don't know, yeah.
For a motion?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second, call the roll.
Blyenberg.
Aye.
Heisey.
Aye.
Kipley.
Aye.
Benega.
Aye.
Karski.
Aye, motion carries. We have a request for approval to display fireworks at WH Lions Fairgrounds on July 4th, 2025. Mr. Denning, like to address the commission?
Good morning. I'm asking for approval for the fireworks show at the WH Lions Fairground, July 4th this year.
All right. Public comment on this agenda item. Commission, turn to you for action.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second, call the roll.
Benega.
Aye.
Heisey.
Aye.
Kipley.
Aye.
Blyenberg.
Aye.
Karski.
Aye, motion carries. Consider a motion to approve and authorize, oh, by the way, Mike, good luck with the 4th of July fireworks display. Pray for all the rain to be done by that time. So. Yeah.
No bugs either.
Consider a motion to approve and authorize the chair to sign the Minnehaha County Deputies Association contract. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Tom Greco, Commission Administrative Officer. So I'm happy to report that we concluded negotiation with the Deputies Association. Before you this morning is a motion to approve the negotiated contract. In my briefing memo, I highlighted several of the key points that were negotiated within the contract. I won't cover all of them, but we'll hit the highlights. Starting with Article 1, there are some changes to job titles. Just to note, these job change or these title changes were a result in large part from the compensation and benefit study recommendations that were made earlier this year. I'll move on to Article 15, wages. This, I think clearly identifies and shows a strong commitment and investment by the Commission to our Deputies Association. Just in summary, the wage provision was negotiated as such places employees on a new pay matrix, which is attached in this packet, on September 27th, 2025. So just a quick note, this union contract would be effective on September 27th, 2025, in a new pay grade for their position at the step nearest to but higher than their current pay. Also, to alleviate compression, individuals will be moved up one additional step. I do want to point out that once folks get placed onto the matrix and before they get that additional step, if they're at step 14 or if they've received more than a 2.5% increase, they'll have their step date reset to September 27th, 2026. And then it also provides for matrix adjustments in 26, 27, and 28 of 2.7, 3.0, and 1.8. That 1.8 is really a placeholder because it's pretty far out. But all those provisions, if the commission does approve a matrix adjustment higher for the general employees, that same percentage would apply to the Deputies Association. Moving on down here to Article 17. Specialty pay, it does clarify the authority for removal of employees from specialty assignments and does make it detectives eligible for specialty pay at a rate of 50 cents pursuant to a previous portion of the contract. Article 21, it adds President's Day as a declared holiday and also clarifies eligibility for holiday pay. In terms of Article 22, paid time off, provides for a minimum accrual of 3.46 hours during year one, with accruals increasing by a quarter hour per pay period every year to 9.25 hours in year 18. Moving on to Article 23, extended sick leave. This increases the pay per period from 1.85 to 2.5 hours. And then Article 29, there was an increase in the authorization for clothing allowances for contract years 2026 through 2028. Again, these were certainly fruitful negotiations, and a lot of this, as you're well familiar with, does reflect the recommendations in large part that were made by the compensation, through the compensation and benefits study, and would urge your support and approval for this contract. Subject to your questions, that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Tom. Public comment on this agenda item. Commission, turn it to you for questions or action.
Mr. Chair, I'll just make the comment to thank our Commission Administrative Officer and HR Department on a fruitful negotiation. Sometimes these can be difficult things to bargain for, and I know we value our sheriff's deputies, but also we have to draw the line somewhere and we have to negotiate back and forth. But I feel like you hit a lot of key points, and I think the biggest thing, as you mentioned, are the wages, and we want to commit to them and have good retention of our workforce, but we also, it's tough to overpromise, especially in the out years. So I think we struck a very reasonable bargain, and just want to give the signal that the commission has your back in these negotiations, and I think you did a good job, and so we'll be happy to support the net result of those negotiations. So appreciate all the hard work that went into that.
Thank you.
Carrie, do you mind if I call you up? Just to put you on the spot. I'm sure you appreciate it. So we hear about compression, and this is more for the general public, and maybe just also for my clarity. But the problem with compression is that a promotion really wasn't a promotion because you're just given more responsibility, but the pay didn't increase. Is that, am I making it too simple, or is there more that you can add to that?
I would say this is really related to the implementation of the new pay matrix. As people migrate onto the new pay matrix, we have a large portion of our staff in the Deputies Association, particularly within correctional office, who will be at step 1. So without that additional step, they'd be paid the same thing as new employees for the next year. So that really helps. And that's not isolated, of course, to the correctional officers, but it's a good example of why
So the
that
compression's on the bottom end?
The compression's on the bottom end.
Oh, okay.
So we'd have, and I don't have those numbers with me, but I think even if you hadn't looked at that, you'd have 22% of your staff at step 1 countywide. I don't have that off the top of my head for the Deputies Association, but that illustrates why getting them into the matrix a little bit is helpful.
Okay, thank you.
Gary, while you're up here, maybe you can refresh my memory. Is this a 3-year contract, so we won't have to negotiate again for another few years?
That's correct. Yeah.
All right, look for a motion, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second, call the roll.
Lionberg,
Aye.
Kipley,
Aye.
Benega,
Aye.
Heisey,
Aye.
Karski.
Aye, motion carries. We are now at the opportunity for public comment. Public comment is limited to 5 minutes a person, 30 minutes total. Anybody want to address the commission on any non-agenda item? All right. Commission liaison reports.
Mr. Chair, just want to let my fellow colleagues know I'll be joining the project team to oversee the campus master plan, along with Commissioner Benninga. As I understand my role, we'll be overseeing the project and meeting on a monthly basis to review the project progress, provide feedback, and review deliverables. So I'd like to keep my fellow colleagues up to date with what's happening behind the scenes and what direction we're moving. I also wanted to mention, since we're not meeting next week, except for the budget hearing itself, I thought I'd mention that Jen and I will be leaving for the NACO conference to Philadelphia July 10th and returning the following Monday in time for our formal meeting that Tuesday morning. I think it'll be my first national conference, and I'm excited and looking forward to it.
I had a Sioux Empire Fair Board meeting a week ago Wednesday, I think it was, and frankly, the financial report looked fairly positive. I would like to kind of indicate that they are having one of the largest concerts on July 18th and 19th called Rock the Country, and it appears that the pre-sale tickets are setting a record, so that's a good thing to have happen.
That's the one we just approved the liquor license for.
No comment.
Last week, Wednesday morning, I attended the Link board meeting, bi-monthly board meeting. It was a 2-hour meeting. A lot of information on data and analytics, and it was a long time coming, but very informative and very telling. It was a draft report, so the final report will be released, but just the sheer volume, and we're really, the Link's, one of the primary objectives of the Link is to get people the help they need and to keep them out of the hospital emergency rooms by providing them with an alternative location to go if it involves drugs, alcohol, mental illness, that type of thing. So from what it looks, it's been very, very successful at its objective. The people that work at the Link are truly amazing in the work that they do. It's not an easy job, and it hasn't been without its challenges, but I think we're in our 4th year of running the Link at this point, which we're able to close our detox and sobering unit in the jail, which keeps people out of jail, which helps with that. So when we look at what's the county doing to reduce property taxes and to do a better job, I think the Link is a great example of collaboration with the city and the healthcare organizations in achieving that goal. So it's one of those things that kind of slips underneath the radar. You forget that you've been doing it after a while, but it truly is a way to alleviate the burden on the property taxes. So, any other liaison reports? All right, non-action commission discussion. Tom, are we going to exec session? Okay, so we're going to have an executive session next door, followed at 10 o'clock with our budget hearing. So I would look for a motion to enter an executive session for the purposes of codified law 125-2, 134, and 6.
I would make that motion.
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We will enter into executive session next door.